This episode of the Reppin' the State Line podcast with John, George, and Josh is sponsored by the Brodo Rockstar Group at eXp Realty. The home buying process is stressful, especially when it's your first time. The Brodo Rockstar Group is committed to giving you a stress-free experience while guiding you through the process from getting approved for a loan to getting the keys on closing day. Let their team treat you like a rock star. To book an appointment or to search all available properties in this state line area, visit buywithbroda.com.
We're back. Or I'm back.
We're all back and we're live this time.
We're not really live, but we're in person.
There's a big reason why we're in person too.
Well, yes, there is.
Well, let's wait and do the usual showy things first that we have to do. Welcome back to the Repping the State Line podcast with John, George, and Josh. We're coming to you in person for episode 14. Remember, we're skipping 13 because that's unlucky. So episode 14. If you're watching us on YouTube, please do the YouTube things below. If you're listening to us on one of the many places you listen to podcasts, like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to leave us a comment. And before we make your big news, I want to make big news for you viewers. I want to thank you guys. We hit 200 downloads this week.
Yes.
So we've had
Incredible.
12 episodes there and 200 downloads. So thank you guys. Keep doing it. Keep sharing it. Keep downloading. So thank you. All right. And with that, let's move into the big news of the week. Josh.
So big news of the week. I am now with Valentine Insurance Agency out of Elgin, Illinois. We have 6 locations. I am running the entire Rockford location now.
Well, congratulations, my friend.
Yeah.
So it's still covered with Cooper. It's just different sponsor now.
Different sponsor, Valentine Insurance Agency. Yeah, I'm excited. It's a brand new start. I'm going to take on a lot more roles than I had in my previous position. I wish them the best of luck. But moving forward in my career and in my life and doing what's best for my family. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah,
Well, there you go.
on that.
Congratulations. So
we're still in the same field, all three of us. We just have a new employer for Mr. Cooper. Covered with Cooper.
So what you got going on this past week, George?
This week was a busy one, as usual. However, unfortunately, my family is now back to Poland/Ukraine, and I am back to having open days again, so I can focus on work and my career and my family. So it was an eventful week. What did we do? Since we last talked, we did the Anderson Gardens in town. It was awesome. They had a festival of sorts over the weekend. We went on Saturday and we did they had like a whole bunch of demonstrations, drums, a whole bunch of other things that are culturally for the Japanese, I'm assuming. I have no idea what half of it was, but it was entertaining. It was a lot of fun. It was hot. They had some food trucks. They had ice cream truck. They had a bunch of things going on. It was crazy because we had to park at the extended parking, and that took like an hour just to get there, take the shuttle over to the Anderson Gardens and get in. So that was a fun-filled Saturday. And then on Saturday night, we did our favorite, kept the Japanese theme going, went to JMK for some sushi and hibachi style food. My favorite in town. I know that you always joke that there's
a divide. There's a Rockford, there's a state line divide. You're either Team the Ponds or Team Shogun, and that's just what it is.
Yeah.
So, and me personally, my family, we're Team Shogun. I have no problem saying that. I don't go to Shogun for sushi. They have good sushi, don't get me wrong, but we like the hibachi there. We like, the entertainment. The cocktails are yummy, and that's just where we like to go.
We are also Team Shogun in our house, but I do have to say, there are some big players in the Rockford area for sushi.
Well, for sushi there is, yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great places for sushi around here.
Heck yeah, there is.
Oh, okay.
We're back.
Sorry.
George forgot to put on the do not disturb on his computer as we're recording this, so.
And it's now.
And so
happened.
the screen changed and we said, what is going on? He was mirroring his phone or something. So, all right, so regardless, sushi in Rockford.
And I'm pretty excited. My new office is south of town now. So right next to the famous Spider Sushi.
All right.
Yes.
So
Never been there.
right down the street. So I'm very excited to frequent Spider Sushi.
Spider Sushi is the first sushi place I had sushi at.
Yeah. Well, I remember this conversation. We had a whole conversation.
I've never had spider sushi.
So Spider Sushi is very good. One place we go to regularly is I Love Sushi.
It was
We
right
go-
down the street too.
We go as a group. I
Yep.
mean,
I love sushi.
they're also owned by Zen Sushi. It's the same company. So Zen up in if you're in Beloit. So if you're south, north, you got great sushi. East, west, you got Mark's Fusion. I've not been there yet. I hear I
That's
have to
also
go.
right by my office now.
So, but I just had this week, thanks to Josh, my first experience at Eighth Ward Pub.
Yes, we have an 8th Ward pub yesterday for lunch.
So, and I
How
was,
was that?
it was really good. I mean,
It's small.
so it's a small place. They got, the doors were closed. It was kind of a junky day. It was raining. But, cause I got these big garage doors,
Yep.
but the bartender, she was amazing. I sat down, I said, my first time here, what kind of cocktails do you have? And she was like, well, what do you like? I said, I like whiskey, I like vodka, I like rum, pretty much anything. So she made me a berry mojito first, which was unbelievable. And then I saw on their drink menu, they had painkiller. And how could you not go with a painkiller? It's like the best rum drink on the planet.
Yeah.
And I had one of those, and I had a Cuban sandwich, and it was just really good.
Really delightful. I went with the espresso martini. And then I had the barbecue chicken flatbread.
Which looked delicious.
And it was
Sounds
no
awesome.
joke, it was about that big.
Is it like long and skinny?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That's
It was
awesome.
awesome. Not a huge menu.
No,
They do, she did say they specialize in flights and like charcuterie boards. So
Okay.
that's pretty cool.
so they do a Bloody Mary flight, which
Interesting.
was like 4 different types. She actually gave me a sample of one because I'd never seen this pickle
It
Bloody
was,
Mary mix.
it was Jack Link's dill pickle flavored Bloody Mary mix.
But Jack Link's like, like the Jack Link's,
Yeah. That's pretty.
and it was just
dope.
like unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm
Beef
not.
jerky, and it had that peppery beef jerky, dill pickle flavor. And then, of course, there was like half a pickle at the bottom of the taster she gave me, and I was just like, and I love Bloody Marys because they always come with a snack.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna end up probably frequently at that place, moving forward.
I'll have to try it. I've never been there. I've
Yeah,
never been to
we'll have-
Spider Sushi.
Yeah.
I'm
we'll
gonna have to come
go.
visit you a
Yeah,
little bit now.
Yeah,
Now at the new
yeah.
office. You could take me to all these places. I went over the weekend to old favorite. You and I went there several times in the past. Gil's Diner.
Gil's Diner, yes,
Yeah.
Gil's.
Gills. Me and Kelsey went to Gills when we had McKenna. And it was Kelsey's first time there. It was,
Gil's Diner is, so we had this debate. My wife and her whole family is Potato Shack. Potato Shack family.
And Potato Shack is amazing. don't
It
get
is
me wrong.
amazing. And we tried to take my family while they were here to Potato Shack. And we went one day and they had a wedding in the family and they were closed. And we're like, darn it.
Oh, I thought they were having a wedding at Potato
No.
Shack.
Well,
that's-
Cause I could see that happening, like,
that's an
Like-
old school thing. Like,
Yeah.
all right, my niece is getting married, whole place is closed.
That's exactly how they ran it. And then we went back on Tuesday, this last Tuesday before they left, and they were closed on vacation. I was like, my lord. So we ended up going down the road to Gil's Diner, and my wife says that Potato Shack has better potatoes. And I said, that's it. I was like, I can agree with that, but the eggs, the omelets
oh,
are amazing
So-
at Gil's Diner.
Gil's Diner, I get the lumberjack breakfast. All right.
Is that
I
2
get-
eggs, 2 sausage?
I get 2 eggs scrambled, 2 sausage links, 2 bacon slices, ham, and then I get 2 pieces of their homemade cinnamon swirl French toast. And they bake the bread. there, and then they make it into French toast.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it is just amazing. And I mean,
Right.
and it's $9.95. It's like,
It's the most affordable.
it's an affordable breakfast, and I am stuffed with it all over. You get potatoes
Yeah,
with it
and their
all.
potatoes are great. I know everything was awesome on the menu. At Gil's
Did
that
you
I had.
see? All right, so obviously my office is now south of town. So to get here, I had to go Harrison over to Perryville, and the old is it TGI Fridays that was right down the corner is now a breakfast lunch cafe,
I did not know that.
and they took out where so when you were walking
Is
this
this one by
Friday,
But that was Harrison, and yeah, right by the Cherryville.
so when you first walk in the door to the left, they had that weird sectioned off area kind
Yeah.
of before. It's now a outside patio.
Interesting.
Very nice.
So there's a breakfast place there now.
I don't know if it's open, but it's very intriguing.
Well, I don't know much about it. I don't know if it's a local shop, if it's a chain or whatever it is, but
Yeah.
do some research, fill us in on it.
Yeah,
But there's amazing places. I just found out recently, over on Spring Creek, we like Mexican food too, guys, so we do that a lot.
Fuego
Mexican-
Nuevo.
Fuego Nuevo, I found out they are moving
Yep, the old
the old
tumbleweed.
tumbleweed on
Yep,
State Street.
They are.
Really?
There's no, I think it's a second location.
No, they're actually moving the
Are they
whole thing.
busy
It's
moving
it's
it?
a larger location for them.
Yep.
And the owners of Fuego Nuevo, their lease was coming up and they bought the building.
They had to work with the city because I don't think that building, the old tumbleweed was up to code.
No, it
So they had to
wasn't.
work with the city on getting all that stuff, and it's not gonna be called Fuego Nuevo. It's gonna be under a different name.
I have no clue about that. I just know that the food,
From the stories I heard, it's gonna have a different name.
well, I was just in there. I had a meeting with a good friend of ours. So Mike with Use Resources,
Yeah.
and he was in there. He's a regular in the place. And I had a
Where at
beautiful
Nuevo.
Nuevo Fuego, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had amazing margarita, chips and salsa are good, the Mexican food is delicious, I mean. You can't go wrong, so if I don't wanna drive all the way down to Mexican Classico from where I am, it's definitely a place to visit.
George, maybe we should go to lunch at Fuego Nuevo after this.
We will have to see when my wife gets back, because right now I am the only adult in the house. But yes, that would be a great.
And yes, it's amazing how well trained he has these children, because there's nobody yelling, they are popping in behind my head every now and then.
Yeah, they're trying to make an appearance in the podcast the best they can.
But there is a huge thing in Rockford this weekend. And we're kind of talking about multicultural. We had the Japanese, and then with the Mexican. The Italian side of Rockford is having their huge festival this weekend.
Yeah, Festa Italia is coming, and that's like, that reminds me, and it's cool that Rockford does this, because like growing up in New York City, there was, we have two Little Italies in New York. We have one downtown Manhattan.
Yep.
And then we have one in Brooklyn, actually. There's a Little Italy in Brooklyn. And, we would go to those, I mean, you get cannoli, and you get the Zeppelis, and you get all the other Italian food, and there's like festival rides. It's like, it's really cool, and I know it's amazing time here in Rockford.
And it's,
I just don't go a
it's
lot.
actually pretty affordable. So they have a thing going on right now. It's $75. You get 4 passes for the whole weekend. You get 2 kids wristbands for all you can ride rides for Saturday and Sunday, and they give you like $20 for food.
Wow, that's not bad at all.
No,
I mean,
No.
you can't go to one of the big theme parks
for that
for
much.
less than
Yeah.
$75 a person,
Correct.
and then you're paying for food and everything else. So I mean,
Correct.
to do that there, and I'm assuming they have a website for that then?
Yeah,
And where
I'm
is it?
sure it is. It's on the grounds of Boylan High School on the football field.
Gotcha.
And it's always there.
Oh, it's always been there.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's just a big
They have
thing.
a huge
That's exciting.
they have a huge bocce tournament. They
Is it
have
Boji or Bocce?
Bocce.
Did I say bocce?
I thought it was bocce.
I say
Bocce.
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 You know,
And
we'll ask our friend Mike Scalisi. He'll let us know which way you say it properly.
They also they have some really good bands. I
Is
think
it Mike Scalisi or Scalise?
I don't know.
That's funny.
they have Minimal, I think, is playing Friday night.
All right.
And they have dueling pianos on Saturday night. So if you guys aren't doing nothing, and you guys want to go down, I'll probably be down Saturday, listen to some dueling pianos, have some drinks, eat some food. I don't know if you guys are doing anything.
I'm going to Milwaukee this weekend.
Oh, that's right.
What's in
Yeah.
Milwaukee?
We are, so every year for my nieces, Audrey's, or not niece, I guess cousin, I don't know. Well, no, maybe it is niece. It's Kyle's daughter.
The niece, yeah.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
niece. Every year for my niece's birthday, my wife takes her to a candy store. She's like a candy fanatic. And usually they go downtown Chicago, the two of them, and they kind of go for the day, and that's the birthday present. Well, this year we had our guests during her birthday, so we decided to make a weekend out of it. And so both families were going to the zoo in Milwaukee. We're gonna go to the candy store. We're gonna go swim and just get away for a couple nights.
And I was just at the zoo with my family on Tuesday, the Milwaukee Zoo.
Yeah,
It was
The
awesome.
Milwaukee Zoo is an awesome zoo.
So we
Brookfield's a good zoo, Milwaukee's a great zoo, and then if you want like the free zoo, Henryville is up in Madison.
did
Yeah.
you know that Brookfield is free?
I did know Brookfield is free now.
I did not know that. I learned that on our architectural tour that we went on. That
Oh,
one
nice.
weekend.
So we kind
Yeah.
of did it differently. So when you walk into the Milwaukee Zoo, you kind of like, you're hit by like the monkeys and the penguins, right?
You got hit by the monkeys.
Did it
They
hurt?
fling stuff at you?
No.
All right, all right.
But they're like right there, right? Like that's like the first thing you see. So most people, you look at the penguins, you start going to the monkeys, and you kind of do this thing where you go around, right? Well, it was hot. It was like 90, give me like 93, 94 degrees on
Yeah.
Tuesday when we went. So we went left and started with the like African safari. And there was nobody there. So, and all the animals were out because they had just got done eating breakfast. And it wasn't
What time
hot.
did you go?
So we got there at 10. They opened at 9:30. Got there at 10. All of the animals on the African part were out and active. So we saw lions and tigers and jaguars. They're all walking.
No, I was gonna say, what about the bears?
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then the elephants were out, the giraffes. We got to feed the giraffes. So all those animals were out, and then we kind of went and ate lunch, and then we started with the monkeys, and they were eating lunch at that time. So they were in their inside cages eating lunch, and we were able to see them on the inside. And we went, and then going around there is all the inside things. You see the birds
Nice.
and the mammals and the reptiles and
Bless you.
You know what
Sneeze
else?
button.
You know what else happened last week that was pretty fun?
oh,
The golf play day.
golf play day.
Yeah, I just thought of that. Your son was killing it out there on the dunk tank.
Yeah.
He was just dunking the heck out of your wife. It was pretty
Yeah,
pretty
so-
awesome.
So what I did is when I first got there, I put $20, gave Abby Rydell $20, said when my kid gets here, let him throw as much as he wants. So that was fun.
That was a really good time. We had a good time at that golf outing. It's one of my most favorite golf outings to go to.
And I've
of
heard
the
it
year.
from multiple people that went and said that was probably the best golf play they've put in all year.
Well, we'll find out because I have two more coming up in the next week.
Yep.
I'm doing, what are we doing on Wednesday?
Wednesday we have the gridiron
The gridiron, which is for Hononegah football.
and Friday's
Um,
Cosmos.
And then Friday is the Cosmo Golf
Next
outing, and Joshy bailed on us, so we need a fourth.
I did.
Because he has, with his new position, he has a business trip now that weekend. Although we planned this all year long, we know not to do anything on that
Are you
weekend.
available on Wednesday, Josh? You want to golf with us Wednesday?
What time is that at?
Noon.
No,
I am not.
no.
If it was in the morning, I could do it, but
No.
no.
What
So-
golf play day is in the morning? First of all.
Be ours.
A lot
The
of
state line chamber golf played.
Well, 10:30 versus noon. I mean,
Well,
that's-
no, there was one at the
because
Beloit
they-
Club that kicked off like 8 AM one day.
Yeah,
I
I
was just like,
played a lot at 8 AM. But the problem with noon, you're not even getting done golfing until 5.
right.
So we're leaving for Kansas City at like 3:00.
Got it.
That's the problem.
not a
But
problem.
yes, with my new position, I can write in 36 states, which I found out I know way more people outside of the Rockford, Illinois area than I do people inside
That's
the
crazy.
Rockford, Illinois area. So, yeah, I'm going down to Kansas City and have some meetings set up down there for the following week. So.
Very cool. So I have not been to Kansas City, but I do like getting out of town whenever possible.
I'll report back to you guys. I've been there once and I absolutely love it.
Now, is it Kansas City, Missouri or Kansas City, Kansas you're going to?
Kansas City, Missouri. So
They have
the
a really good
actual-
Because it's the same city, it's just two sides of the river, two different states.
They are, and majority of the city of Kansas City is in Missouri. So like the Chiefs, Missouri, the Royals, Missouri. You wouldn't be surprised on how much is actually in the Missouri side rather than the actual Kansas side.
You should go to, I'll give you some restaurants. I don't know them off the top of my head.
He's got some barbecue places.
That are freaking amazing.
George is famous
Well, yeah,
for
definitely.
getting on a plane and just going for 1-day trips to get barbecue around.
When was the last time you did that? That's been a while.
Been a few years, yeah.
Well, COVID put a damper on some
I
of the
went
travel.
to Texas last year for barbecue.
Yeah, you met a bunch of friends.
Yep. But before that, I've done several trips to Kansas City for their barbecue. They got good barbecue there too.
They phenomenal.
Yep. So for us personally, I mean, this past week, it was quiet. It's been quiet, just working a lot, but, I went to one of my favorite wineries 2 weeks in a row. So I was in Geneva. I was at the Geneva winery again on Sunday of this
Yeah, I
past
saw
week.
your post.
I brought my sister-in-law, so we went there, George, myself, our wives, and we
My
all went out
family,
there with his family, and we went to get some stuff, and they were very limited on their selections that day. But they said all the new wines come out this week, so we went, and they've got a couple of new reds
That are
that
phenomenal.
are unbelievable.
Awesome.
Bernice actually drank red wine from there. We brought
Wow.
bottles home. So I
That's-
mean,
That must have been real.
so, and we had my sister-in-law came out with us because she doesn't get to come with us that often, so it was a nice time. They had a guitar player who he just played guitar, and it was like every 2 seconds, like 3 notes, I'm naming that tune, and it was just craziness, and he walk around playing his guitar to people and going from one song to the next, so it was real good entertainment for a Sunday.
Nice.
But this weekend, I think it's just gonna be a quiet weekend at home, maybe get some work
I've
done
had-
around the house, because I've been just doing everything all summer.
Between all the golf play days, between having visitors for 3 weeks, and we literally did an entire weekend in Chicago with the White Sox, the architectural tour, the winery, the shed aquarium. We did a weekend. We went to Lake Geneva last weekend. We did
You were just there, too.
we did the JMK or the Japanese day, and I'm tired. And then we're going to Milwaukee again.
Well, yeah,
But once again, the state line area,
It's just so
like,
bustling.
how
with
much stuff do we have within an hour and a half, max?
Yeah.
Even like Lake Geneva, hidden gem. And it's 35 minutes from here.
Did you know? Have you seen an aerial view of Lake Geneva?
Yeah.
It's a mermaid feeding a dolphin.
Yep. Yeah.
That's Lake Geneva, a mermaid feeding a dolphin. That's how you know where.
You want
it's
to
at.
talk about not working? Yesterday's my first day back to work since July 20th. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
busy.
However, I finagled that. It wasn't planned. It wasn't intentional. It's the way the cookie crumbled, the way it worked out.
With
Well,
different
I don't know about you guys. I can't take that much time off. So like, if you're looking to like sell, like, let me know.
Yeah, sell.
I need more houses because I'm just being like shameless on a plug there because this is like, I don't know how to take that much time off. We did that cruise back in April and I'm like, back in May, and I'm just like, that was the longest trip I've had.
Yeah,
And I love my mini trips, don't get me wrong, but like,
I'm a mini trip type of person. I'd rather take a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday mini trip than a whole week.
Yeah.
Because I just,
depends on where. I'm not going to Hawaii unless I'm there for 10 days.
oh, true. Like,
But-
I wouldn't go to Europe either unless it was for like 2 weeks.
right, but if I'm going, like, if I'm making a big trip where it's travel, but like, if I'm gonna go to like, I could do a 2-day trip to Dubuque.
Yeah, the local
And
trips
enjoy.
are where the
Go to
long
Milwaukee,
weekends.
go to Chicago for a
And
weekend.
I
go
would
to
even say
Madison.
anything that's within a 2-hour flight radius would be safe for a long weekend. Nashville, Orlando,
Yeah.
Clearwater,
Yeah.
any of those kind of areas is a quick trip, a mini trip.
I know
for sure,
people that drive to Nashville on
on a weekend.
like a weekend.
I know
regularly.
somebody that's there right now that just drove to Nashville yesterday
Yep.
with
It's,
Rycom.
Oh,
It's shocker, right? He goes to Mexico, comes back, goes to Mexico again, comes back. Now he's in Nashville.
well, as long as my website doesn't crash, I'm okay. So, because I shameless plug to Rycom Consulting there because they do my website,
My
they
website.
do George's website.
Yeah, they do my branding development.
Yeah, same here.
They're great what they do.
So-
when they're doing it.
When they're actually here doing it. So, and we'll just pick on Brian a little more. But he'll be back by Wednesday for the golf outing, I'm sure.
Oh,
Oh yeah, he's a big part of that one.
So
Yeah, Lake Geneva. I was on vacation last week, and we rented this 10,000 square foot compound that had a full tennis court in the back of it, and it had on the main floor it had a living room, huge dining room that had a table that fit like 25.
wow.
The kitchen, walk upstairs, another dining room, another living room, and then it had Jack and Jill suites. So it had a bedroom, bathroom, bedroom on one side. The other side had a bedroom, bathroom, bedroom. And then you go upstairs, and there, right in the middle was this bunkhouse that had 5 sets of bunk beds. And then
Wow.
you go down the hallway, and there was a full bedroom with a queen and 2 bunk beds. And then next to that was the master suite with a huge bathroom. And then the other side of the house had a queen with a bunk bed and another master
So how many
suite.
people went?
So we had 20 people.
All right, I was gonna say,
Oh,
this sounds
okay.
like, this
Holy
sounds like our
cow.
Galena trip on like steroids.
We had 12 people or 20 people, 8 adults and 12 children. It was
Oh, that's
four,
the trip.
Oh.
it was 4 families,
Yeah.
and each family had 5 kids. Or
Wow.
not 5 kids, 5 people in their family.
Oh, my goodness.
So we all picked a night. Like one family did the cookout night, one family did the pasta night.
Nice.
We did the taco night, and then we went out to dinner one night. We went. It was right outside of Fontana Beach, like a mile walking distance. Took 10 minutes to walk. So we walked to the beach. They had parks. We ate lunch at Gordy's. One day we rented
Nice.
jet skis right there.
Yeah.
And the kids absolutely. It was $125 for an hour with a jet ski, and
Wow.
our kids had an absolute blast.
No, and that's, I mean, Lake Geneva was one of the first places I visited when I first started dating my wife back in the 90s. And we
Do you
went,
know, do you know the Grand Geneva, what it used to be?
no,
So the Grand Geneva is right off the main road. It's on the other side of the highway. Right now, it's a gorgeous compound.
It's on Lake Como.
Yeah, but it used to be the Playboy Mansion. On those grounds right there. Did you
Really?
know- Yeah.
I did not know that.
Fun fact. Okay.
we're gonna have fact checkers check this out,
Fact check.
just to make sure, because we don't want to say stuff that isn't true. I think that sounds like you're making it up.
No,
But
Google it.
yeah,
well, they did have the Playboy Tower in downtown Chicago, so it makes sense to have a sprawling estate within, an hour's drive of Chicago. But we went out there, my brother-in-laws were just little guys at that time, and rented a Sea-Doo boat.
Yep.
And I mean, it was like, give me your driver's license, hand them some cash, take a boat out for an hour or two.
Well, now, we walk up, like, want to rent jet skis, and they're like, okay, is your birthday before January 1 of 1988? And one of the guys goes, you mean 98? No, 88. So like, you have to be 34 years old to rent a jet ski? They're like, yes. Or you have to take the Wisconsin State Boaters Test
Yes.
to get your boater's license. So you're looking at the newest Wisconsin State boater's license holder.
there you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it makes sense though, because it used to be, I mean, they've done a lot of stuff in Wisconsin to change it, but at a certain age, you're grandfathered in. They say, okay, we'll let it go, but it's for safety. The lake does get very busy.
Very busy.
There's a lot of people out there.
We went on a Tuesday afternoon, and it was glorious. There was nobody on the lake. We got to rip the jet skis. It was a whole lot of fun.
I found out too, I was showing you yesterday, I was doing speaking of boats and stuff. I was looking at like pontoon boats, things
Yeah.
like that, because you always
I
sit
love
there and you go,
pontoon.
I would love to get a boat, and then you're like, the happiest day and the worst day of the happiest day of your life is the day you buy your boat and the day you sell your boat, right? That's what I'm
You
talking.
know what boat stands for, right?
Yeah, bust out another 1,000. So, but I was looking at
That's
boats,
another dig at Brian, who I think is in the process of buying a boat.
which is fine, buy a boat, man, we need somewhere to go on the weekends. But, so I was looking at this boat, and I came across the Sea-Doo Switch. So it was inspired by Legos. So it is a tri-tune that starts from a 13-footer, which has a 0 turn radius,
Mhm.
all the way up to a 21-footer. They go from 100 horsepower to 270 horsepower. You can configure the seats in any configuration you want, and it's all done with a jet ski controller. So you never take the hands
Wow.
off the wheels, off the controls. Everything's on there. It's got a brake, reverse, and a forward throttle. And you can set the throttle to go at a speed, so you don't have to hold it the whole time you're motoring. for a 17 footer, you can get it for 20 grand. Fully loaded, ready to go with the trailer. I was shocked, but the one that shocked me the most, I'm doing more research on it. Although Sea-Doo is an international brand, the Sea-Doo Switch is made 100% manufactured in Wisconsin,
Wow.
just north of Madison. So they're sold out right now at 2022. So you got to get on the list for 2023s.
Are you gonna get on the list for
I'm
2023s?
thinking about it. If it's a better year than last year, maybe. I don't know. But I would love to get one. I'd love to get a small one, like a 16, 17 footer.
So again, for all our listeners that want John to get,
They want John to get a boat.
go to www.buywithbroda.com and list your home today.
Yes. And if you list your home with me this year and I get the boat next year, I will take you out on the boat.
Oh,
There
that's
you
a
go.
perk.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Hey, he won't work for the next month because he has to take 30 people out on his boat.
It'll be
Yeah, we'll help you with that problem of taking extended time off.
It'll be extended time off. It'll be 30 days. It'll be 30 days of boating with John Broda.
There you go.
So,
I sense a new chapter or podcast.
well,
Boating with Broda.
Voting with Broda.
that could be a monthly segment, but if this actually happens.
That's hilarious.
But I mean, seriously, talk about podcasts. My wife and I were joking around. She's like, we go to all these wineries. We should do our own podcast on just wineries.
So, speaking of tasting in wineries, are we
Yeah.
gonna do a wine tasting for our next sipping?
I think we should try to set it up and actually go to one of the local wineries.
Why don't we try to put something together with Hidden Creek that we talked about last week? That'd be a really cool place to go to broadcast or record from, sitting in that little man's
we'll
garage.
work it out, but we'll figure out for sitting and sipping. If another great local spot, the Muse at Cedar Creek. It's just over in Cedarville. It's like 20 minutes west of Rockton. So I mean, they're right there. We got Hidden Creek, DC Winery, McEachran. I mean, we've got some places all real close. And then you could even say
Wine and charcuterie.
Northleaf in Milton.
Wherever we play,
I would do a charcuterie. Wherever we go, though, it's got to be have a charcuterie board, and we do a wine tasting.
I think
I'm in.
we're gonna have to do it. We have one this month. We have to figure out what we're gonna do.
Yeah,
All right. So
we'll work on that.
with that, we'll figure out where the next sit and sip will be.
episode and we'll let you know next week.
And with that, I don't have much more on the agenda. I mean,
I think that we pretty much. I mean, this is a kind of a slower weekend.
Well,
It's
it's
a lot of
conference.
focus is shifting to back to school. Everybody's
and-
getting back in that mode.
Yep.
The big summer trips are coming in, and you got it. And to me, this is kind of the close of summer for most kids in this area because they're going to be going back. To
Right,
school
yeah, my
because
kid
a
goes
lot
back
of
to
in
17.
August. Yep.
yeah, they're going back between the 15th and the 19th of August when they're going
Yeah.
back to school. I know my daughter starts her senior year this year at Honolulu High School. I still can't believe that little peanut is going to be a senior. And she just finished drive right. So watch out, people at the state line, November. The first week in November, she will be eligible to have her license. So that will be crazy. Look for the Honda Pilot with the student driver sticker on the back.
There you go. So avoid the Honda Pilot.
Avoid with the student driver. It says, I've had that same magnet for all three of my kids on the back of it.
Nice.
A-Sign Design, Mary Johnson, she made those magnets for me when my oldest son started driving.
Nice.
That's
And he's
That's a
gonna be
great idea.
23.
Yeah.
So I mean, seriously, she made signs, she made magnets for your car, like she used to make my old Roscoe interior stickers I had on the car, I put on the side. So I said, can you do a student driver one, because my kid keeps getting flipped off and cursed at as he's learning to drive.
So we got. Oh no, next weekend's Kansas City for you. You got any plans this weekend?
This weekend, just Festa, hanging
right.
out.
All right, so we're gonna get a recap of Festa. We're gonna recap of a few wineries, and then I'm going to Milwaukee, and then Tuesday next week. So next week I'll talk about it. Is family night at Bears at Soldier Field.
Oh,
I got 4 tickets, 50 yard line, first row.
wait, so you're not working again next Tuesday?
I will be. I will be at Soldier Field. I will be at Soldier Field next Tuesday.
George will start working once his kids go back to school in 3 weeks.
The trials and tribulations of a home office.
Yes.
When
Now-
people are home, you can't work.
Well, again, thanks guys for tuning in this week. Do the podcasty things that you do: subscribe, follow, comment, share with us some thoughts on, how you pronounce, Scalise or Scalisi, and what was the other one?
Bocce.
Bocce or Bocce?
I think it's bocce ball.
I think it's
So-
bocce ball.
and
That's
isn't-
personal.
Isn't there a Polish festival coming up soon too?
I don't know.
I saw an article in the Rockford Register
sure.
Star
Yeah,
that the pierogi kitchen was open. There was these Polish grandmas basically. They make all these pierogies for a pierogi festival. That's here
Yeah.
in Rockford.
I will be,
So I will get more
Yeah,
information
yeah.
on that.
we're
because we need to do
we're
it.
actually getting into fair season now. So like next weekend is the Boone County Fair.
Well, Boone County Fair is next week.
fairs
Yeah,
coming up.
Yeah, so fair season is
get your
upon
fair
us.
food.
Gotta get a funnel cake.
I don't know.
All right, well, thanks guys again for watching, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Have a good one, everybody. Thank
Yes.
you. All right. You're gonna have a lot of editing to do.